Before we get started with today's video, I have an announcement to make. After years of telling other people's stories, I finally released one of my own. My novel Eternal Reign is available now in both ebook and paperback format for those of you who are like me and prefer to collect physical media. You can grab a copy right now on Amazon through the link in the description of this video. And now back to our regularly scheduled program. After fully deciding to go through with the horrible idea of walking into hostile territory, the twins and the Warrior of Light leave Camp Broken Glass with Julius. Once he's made sure that none of your people are following you all, no one that he can see that is, he starts to guide you to the place where his people have set up camp. It's a very long and not quite safe trip since you have to pass by both monsters and tempered Garleans who really want to kill you all. The twins tell Julius that there's actually a way to cure his tempered people if you capture them alive. But since he doesn't trust you, he doesn't trust your cure, so he's 100% committed to using the old-fashioned tempering cure known as stabbing them until they stop moving. Some of them have been hit with so much ether that they've started to mutate, so those really are too far gone to fix. After a very long freezing trip, you make it to Turum, the biggest of Garlemald's underground train stations, and the one that Julius's people are using. The place keeps the Garleans out of the snow, but is not exactly warm or well stocked, which would explain why Julius was out hunting for supplies. True to his word, he takes you to see the commanding officer Quintus van Senna, the legatus of the First Legion. Apparently he hadn't died in the Civil War, but he was hurt bad enough to pretty much end any hopes he has of fighting again. That doesn't mean he has any plans on trying to make peace with any of you, for the simple reason that even if your offer turns out to be genuine, as long as there's a chance of someone making a profit off of someone else, war will always happen. The way the Garleans were treated up until they got strong enough to dominate others proves that. Conquering others was the only thing that kept them safe from being conquered themselves, and Quintus has no intentions of changing that. Despite what he said, Alphino still wants to help in any way that he can, and Quintus believes he means it. But whether Alphino is sincere or not is irrelevant, because Quintus knows that the Eorzeans wouldn't have sent an army into Garlemald if they wouldn't benefit from it somehow. He's pretty sure that if the Garleans take any help from the foreigners, once the Telophoroi have been dealt with, they'll expect some type of reward. No one does anything for free, and he knows that whatever reward they demand for their help will be the end of the nation that has been their enemy for years, and that'll lead to the subjugation in one form or another of the Garlean people. Alizé doesn't think that there are a lot of people who would look forward to making the Garleans suffer, which was proven wrong by the fact that so many people refused to join the Ilzabar contingent when they realized that the mission wasn't to go and kill Garleans. The twins are annoyingly naive, but they genuinely want to make the world a place without war. Since that's their goal, Quintus wants to know why they didn't just accept rule under Garlemald. If they wanted the war to end by any means necessary, they could have surrendered years ago and the bloodshed would have stopped. But they didn't, for the simple reason that what they believe in and what the Garleans believe in is different. And if two people have opposing views, any peace they make will only make one side happy. Compromising with someone is something you do when you have no choice. It means you gave up some of what you wanted. So why do that when you have the opportunity to get it all? That's why the Garleans will never negotiate with the Eorzeans. As far as Quintus is concerned, it will be better for his people to die out than to do that. The twins don't really have a way to try and convince him to change his mind, but since he's not going to let any of you leave anyway, you'll have plenty of time to come up with a new proposal. He won't have his people kill you as long as you don't resist, and he's even willing to let you all move around the camp and talk to his people, after he puts a shock collar on each of the twins. If they do anything suspicious at all, the collars will put them down hard. Quintus knows exactly who the Warrior of Light is, and he's pretty sure that the collar wouldn't even hurt you, so to keep you in line, he'll just shock the twins if you don't play nice. He clearly expected you to start slaughtering his people once he said that, starting with him, but the twins stop you. The legatus can't understand why they would go to such lengths to try to work with them, and he does admit that none of you are the savage monsters that people claimed. That still doesn't make him change his mind about working with you. Instead, he puts Julius in charge of you all and sends you away. Julius lets you all talk to the people around Turum, and one of them just so happens to be a survivor from your fight at the Praetorium a very long time ago, so naturally she doesn't like you. Most of them would kill you if they could, but they're also hurt from the previous battles or exhausted from being cold, hungry, and sick that they don't even have the strength to attack you. Alphino wants to use a bit of healing magic on the ones that he could make better, but since that will cause him to get electrocuted, he decides not to. He wants to at least get permission to bring supplies over from the contingent's camp though. Up until now, Julius and the others have been scavenging what they could from the abandoned houses in the area, but they really need some fuel. What they had stocked up got stolen by someone, so they're on their last little bit. And once it's gone, things will get really bad, especially for the people who are already sick. Alizé offers to get some from the contingent, but Julius refuses. He doesn't want your charity. Regardless, he's pretty sure things will get better soon. They've been watching the Telophoroi, and they know where their leaders are. Quintus has sent a letter to the 10th Legion telling them to get everyone ready. That way, when the time comes to attack, they can have a large enough force to deal with the Telophoroi. But before they do that, they plan on using their strength to remove the contingent from their lands. That plan's great except for the fact that the people of Turum will be dead long before the reinforcements arrive, if they don't at least get some fuel. When Alphinaud once again volunteers to have the contingent give them some fuel, Julius decides to run the idea by Quintus. The legatus still refuses to take anything from the contingent, but he does order Julius to go search around the area for some more of the fuel. Since you're his prisoners, you all leave Turum with him to hunt down some fuel. That way you can save the lives of some people who desperately want to kill you. And that's where we're going to stop for today. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like it, comment, share it, and subscribe. Donate to the channel if you can, and I'll see you all next time.